You ready?
Yep.
Yes, we're on.
Hello and welcome, everybody. This is Bonnie Bruder, the host of the Ask Bon.
The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello and welcome, everybody. This is Bonnie Bruder, the host of the Ask Bon Bon Show, and this is a very special episode of our expert series. I'm super excited to introduce you to today's guest. But before I do that, in just a minute, I just want to say welcome to everybody that is joining us. If you're just finding the Ask Bon Bon Show for the first time, welcome. This is where you will meet top thought leaders. Today is no different. And if you are one of our guests or one of our community and you've followed some of my antics over this last year, today is no different. I have been up since 3 o'clock this morning because I was cast in American Brawler, a movie that's being produced right now in New York, as the district attorney. So I am actually en route. It's a little bit of planes, trains, and automobiles. However, today's call was so important, we just couldn't miss it. So I apologize for any background noise, and I am thrilled to introduce everybody to our guest, Roger Salaam. So Roger is somebody that I have known for many years. He has been a mentor, he has been a colleague, he has been somebody that has really taught me the importance of mastermind. And he is extremely accomplished. He lives in Tampa, Florida. He is an inspirational speaker, a best-selling author. He's a top thought leader, and he's the chairman and founder of the Winner Circle, which is the largest and most respected invitation-only mastermind forum for authors, for speakers, for real estate gurus, informational marketers, and thought leaders really in any sector, and just highly successful entrepreneurs. And so before that, kind of like me, he has the Tony Robbins background. He was the #1 speaker and trainer with the world-renowned author and motivational speaker Anthony Robbins. He's delivered over 5,700 professional talks in various corporations and nonprofits and organizations. And he's a graduate of UCLA. He has 3 lovely daughters, and he's really most passionate about teaching people with knowledge and empowering people really to get to higher levels of success, both personally and professionally. So everybody join me in giving a huge warm welcome to Roger Salaam. Welcome.
Thank you, Bonnie. Thank you. My pleasure.
And I know you also had your share of planes, trains, and automobiles. I think you've been in, what, 4 different countries this week?
Yes, 4 different countries this week. Just landed yesterday back. I literally landed in East Coast, and now I'm in Phoenix, Arizona. Last night I had to catch a flight here because I'm speaking here.
Wow, fantastic. Well, let's get right to it. So you and I have both been in personal development for over 2 decades, and we know many of the same people, you know, the top people in the industry. And you were the #1 speaker with Robbins, and your focus is really mastermind. Can you tell people that are listening what is a mastermind, and how did you get started on this path?
Wonderful, Bonnie. And again, today I'm just you've done a wonderful job of my background and stuff. Whenever I speak, and people know, as they said, that my shares begin with my creed, so they have a little sense because you have such a now wide range of people in your call. To get a sense of who I am, my personal creed every morning is to build true confidence through knowledge in the mind, honesty in the heart, and strength in the body, to keep friendship with one another, and to build a strong and happy community. Never fight to achieve selfish ends, but to develop mindful right. And you probably know him, Grandmaster June Rhee, and of course both of us met him through Tony, gave me this creed, and I fell in love with this creed since 1991, and I share with every talk that I give. And he got me started. I am in the special sort of background of personal development. You and I are both students of success, and I've been studying success for 2 decades now. That is there one holy grail for success? Is there one thing that I can focus on that's going to everything going to unfold from there? And in my research led to the most basic. I think you and I will agree that probably Napoleon Hill is sort of the grandfather of this personal development movement with his famous book, Think and Grow Rich, obviously. And with that book, when I picked it up again for I don't know how many times, this is going back 2006, around there, and right there, his entire research that he was doing back in 1900 think 8, when Andrew Carnegie gave him the full carte blanche to study the successful people. And as a result of that project, he came up with 17 principles for success, and 3 he called foundational principles, and 14 are supporting principles. Of the 3, Bonnie, first is definiteness of purpose, which is knowing what you want. Because if you don't know what you want, the steps doesn't matter where you go. But the moment you know what is it that you want, the most important step right after that, he called it the principle of mastermind. And I said, wow, right there, very in front of me is this process, and I just jumped on it. Since 2006, I couldn't find a mastermind group that Napoleon Hill was talking about for me to join. So I did the next best thing. I created my own, and the Winner Circle in 2007, and with the Napoleon Hill principles. And the 2 foundational principles of my Winner Circle is, number 1 is who you listen to and associate with will determine your destiny. And number 2 is none of us is as smart as all of us. Those 2 are the foundational principle for the Winner Circle Mastermind Forum. And I haven't been able to, if you want to know the ABCs of Mastermind, I can tell you that A is for access. Access to people, access to resources, access to money, access to anything that you want that'll help you. You want faster access, and you and I both have shared with this that it's not what you know, it's who you know. And then comes what you know. It will open the door. So first is access. Second, B is best practices. And there's not enough time for us to make all the mistakes ourselves. So this community of this high-level people, they share best practices. And C is a community of like-minded people. So ABC, access, best practices, and a community of like-minded people. You can put it together. And you and I have shared and heard this so many times that your income is going to be the average of the 5 people that you hang around with the most. I believe it's not only true for our income, I believe it's true for our health, our wealth, our happiness, and just about everything else is 100% dependent on this environment that we create. And of course, there are exceptions to it, everything, but this is so incredibly important. And I've been living, I can share with you without a doubt that anything good and great that has happened to my life is a direct, not indirect, is a direct result of my mastermind and this mastermind principle that I practice. And everywhere I go now, I've been interviewed. And as a matter of fact, so many times people call me like the modern day Napoleon Hill, only because of I repopularized the concept of this mastermind and wrote a book on the mastermind topic. So that's sort of how I narrowed down my personal development angle, because that's where we started, and still it's my first love. And my second love is real estate investing, because that's what I do. And my personal development is my fun, but that has become also the mastermind has become a wonderful avenue that anything good and great that is, I can directly trace it back to that, including right now this interview and all of us things that we're doing. So there you go, sort of my background and a very quick summary of what mastermind is. And you can unmute and we can create a conversation. No problem. I can hear you just perfectly fine, Bonnie. So what else would you like to know? And I don't know if I've lost you, Bonnie. And I'll continue. So one of the things that people ask me also is that, hey, that why do people join the Winner Circle, and from that angle? So really, there are 2 different kinds of masterminds that you can join. And by the way, this is not about me asking you to join the Winner Circle or anything else. This is an invitation-only organization. So what I'm sharing with you is the concept and the principle is that I don't care what is it that you want in life, and you probably don't need the mastermind. However, If you want to get it faster, better, stronger, cheaper, you figure out what the adjective you want, and mastermind is the absolute best way to get it there for you faster. So if all else being equal, if you want to get there faster, then there's no greater vehicle than the principle of mastermind and to implement what it is that you want. And Napoleon Hill said that anyone who has accomplished any amount of success has either consciously or unconsciously employed the principle of mastermind. Greater power can achieve through no other principles. And it's a direct quote from Napoleon Hill. And so why should you join any mastermind group? And really, there are two kinds of mastermind groups that you can join. One is a very industry-specific mastermind, where you literally go and meet with like-minded people who are in the same profession. For example, all real estate investors. By the way, the Winner Circle started as a real estate investor guru mastermind. And so all these people are gurus of some kind. They're SMEs, subject matter experts in this field. So they come together, and it's extremely easy to monetize that particular type of mastermind because everyone there understands what is it that you do. There's no need to explain who you are, what is it that you do. You just come and you explain and you share best practices and you share joint venture opportunities. There's another kind of mastermind where it's more people from diverse backgrounds. That one is a real estate investor, another one is an attorney, another one is a doctor, another one is a consultant, a wide variety of people, and radio TV personality like Bonnie, and where you have to do is totally explain to the other people what is it that you do. Those are really good for idea generation. That you are listening to someone in your group who doesn't at all maybe know your industry, but are very successful in their industry, and that's where cross-pollination happens. And you go there and come away with ideas that nobody in your industry has thought about because they don't hang around with those other types of people. So that's the advantage of coming in to the idea focused mastermind. And my masterminds are more ROI centric mastermind as opposed to idea centric mastermind, because I believe that's a given. If you have good people in a room, if you have good people and great people together, good things will happen. Regardless, you don't need me. You just put some good people together, it'll happen. However, if you orchestrate it, if you put processes, if you put systems and things in place to orchestrate it, good things don't happen, great things happen. And that's sort of the magic, and you create the environment. And that's, if anything, my credit. It's not, they don't come to my mastermind because, to hear from me. No, that's why I made it the Winner Circle. It's not about Roger Salam. They come for each other. So this can go on without me, and just need a couple of facilitators to facilitate the process. And that's where the magic is, to creating the environment. So my mastermind, one of the main reasons people come, because it's an ROI-centric mastermind. Ideas are given, and we sit there and talk about how we can help each other make money. We sit there and ask how we can help each other with resources. We sit there and brainstorm new ideas. We come together and we bring in other subject matter experts to teach us about things that are of interest specifically to us, that are some very, very cutting edge tools. And those are the resources that we bring to the table. And so it's a combination of the content, combination of joint venture, combination of resource sharing, best practice sharing, and it's the level and the quality of people that makes up all of those things. Of course, with that, it's incredible. It's incredible, ladies and gentlemen. The underlying philosophy of my mastermind is, it is not about networking. anything starts with that. If you don't know anyone, of course, the beginning process is networking, but we take it from networking to relationship building. And this, obviously we do mastermind all throughout the year in smaller groups. Then at the end of the year, I bring all of my members and select invited guests to this, my annual event of my super mastermind, call it, and relationship building event. This year we're doing this is my 8th annual mastermind cruise, and from December 10th through the 14th, we're going from Fort Lauderdale to Cozumel, and then all of us are getting together. All of us are getting together for the purpose, and we're meeting in December. This will help us to book our calendars, for our speaking calendars, for our JV calendars, and then give you a kind of people that are coming, and some of these are celebrity type of people that you may know. For example, Kevin Harrington from the Shark Tank. He was one of the original sharks, and he's coming on. Of course, Bonnie's going to be there. I'm going to be there, and there's going to be Laurel Langmeyer. She's a 5 times New York Times bestseller. There are companies. For example, there's one gentleman. He runs a company out of Malaysia. He's an Australian. I was just, as a matter of fact, last week in Phuket speaking at one of his events. It's a brand new relationship. He's going to be on the cruise. Runs an 8-figure internet marketing company, and one joint venture with him. I'll probably speak at a dozen events next year all over the world. So that one contact, you are one contact away from your next $1 million relationships. And I'm not just saying that as a metaphor. That's the practical aspect of it. As a matter of fact, you're going to meet a friend of mine, Dusty Rollins from Oxford Wealth Strategies, and he literally, this is I can show you his testimonial. He talks about this, that hey, a few years ago when he first met me and he heard me speak, and I was just talking about this one concept, is that you are one contact away from your next $1 million relationships. Of course, he said, oh yeah, because he's trying to get me to the mastermind. And then a few months later, he came on. I think that was my 4th or 5th mastermind cruise. He came on, and I have his testimonial that he says, I'm sitting at a bar right next to him. Said this gentleman, he looked at his ribbon and recognized that he's with our group. And right there, he says, he sometimes jokes that Roger actually lied. He said it's going to be my next $1 million connection. It turned out to be my next multi-million-dollar connection, because he says the relationship didn't end. It's continuing over the lifetime of that relationship. It'll be a multi-million-dollar relationship, not just $1 million. And of course, the ideas and the speakers that you are coming are incredibly, incredibly rich. And what you take away from it is the relationships. And let's face it, the other thing is that the environment we create, the reason we chose the cruise is because it's we are so busy running around. People come, like myself, in 4 different time zones, 4 different countries in 7 days. And literally, but when we go on the cruise, the time kind of stops. And it literally, for 4 days, we let people let their hair down. This is one event where they bring their spouses, and we make it fun. And when we reach our destination, for this time it's Cozumel, we party. We work hard, we play hard. When we're at sea, that's when we do our sessions. And when we reach our destination, we party. And of course, every evening there's social events and things planned for all of our attendees. And the main reason where the ROI happens is from the joint ventures, is from the speaking engagements, and is from the resource sharing that happens. And one of the questions people ask me all the time is the basis for these joint ventures. And once people decide to come, and these are again niche specific mastermind, gurus, for people that are experts in their little examples, and somebody need money, there's Ari Page from Growth Capital, and they guarantee up to $250,000 business lines of credit, not personal line of credit, and he shares with you on how anyone can do it. People, this is because we're all speakers and all subject matter experts that are coming, and there's nobody is selling anything. They're all there to share their best practices. They're there to find out where they can do the joint ventures. And the best joint ventures are two things. Number one, the best joint ventures are those that are based on relationships. Number two, the best joint ventures are those where each party feels that they got the better end of the deal. Let me repeat that. The best joint ventures are those where each party feels that they got the better end of the deal. So if this is something that appeals to you, you can find out, if you want to find out more about the mastermind again today. This was supposed to be an interview, and Bonnie is, I feel like she and I were talking about it, that she's on that movie, some chase movie that she's on. Started with her taxi, now she's got trains, planes, and automobiles, and bad guys are chasing her, and of course she is literally going to a movie shoot.
Hey, Roger, you recapped that very well. I've literally been on trains, taxis. I'm waiting on the street corner for a stranger to pick me up. It's been hilarious. But I did want to add one thing.
Yes.
When you talk about joint ventures and those people feeling like they're getting the better end, for people that are familiar with that term, that's basically essentially just when you partner with somebody and you create together.
Yes.
Hence joint. And for those of you that have done this before, you know how it works. For those of you who haven't, I just want to say I went on this cruise a few years ago. I was fortunate enough to be one of the speakers, and it truly is a place where you create together. You might go into it knowing, okay, great, I want to partner with these people and meet these people, but then you're sitting at a dinner and, having some champagne, and all of a sudden an idea comes up and you create this third thing that's even better than both of you thought. So, just to really reiterate Roger's point, a lot of you I have sat down with over this last year and interviewed for the show, and everybody asks me, the number one question that I get is, how do you know all these interesting people? And above and beyond, the single answer is from masterminding, from being a part of this group, from networking, from meeting people that were part of this group and knew other people. It's really, been the number one thing that's been behind the growth of our show and other things. And I just really want to, encourage everybody that is thinking about it to really join us from not just it's going to be amazing, meet all these great people, but really think about, going into this next year in 2016, what you want to create, because it really, truly, as Sandra was saying, is the place to do that.
And Bonnie, again, it was about just to give people an idea and some pointers that really, if you cannot make it for your life to go to the next level, I wish if I had a magic wand, a wish for you, that I'd say that go join some mastermind group. And I've got 3 girls, and 9, 11, and 16, and of course my 2 little ones always gives me riddles. That's like they find out, and they're always asking me. And so I'm gonna give you a riddle, Bonnie. And so people are asking me that, hey, what cruise ship are you going on? We're in the Royal Caribbean, Independence of the Sea. So they ask me which ship is better? Is it the Royal Caribbean, or is the Celebrity cruise ship, or the Carnival cruise ship? Which ship is the best ship? Do you know, Bonnie? Do you know the answer?
Yeah, the one we're on. Anyone that we're on.
So to take a page from my kid, so the best ship is the relationship. So the best ship is the relationship. And even one ship that's better than the relationship which is a end result of the relationship, is friendship. And it sounds cliche, it sounds kind of really corny, but I promise you is that the quality of your life at the end will boil down to the quality of your relationship. And that's what I'm all about. And the people that come on the cruise, these are invitation only people. And that's what their philosophy also is. They're into building not a transactional people. These are relationship people. And so, I share with people on, and this relationship building topic is not a woo-woo stuff anymore. There are specific, and I want to, you and I both know, Bonnie, that the referrals are the absolute best way to build any business. And there's no, it shows so much more than just building business because somebody referred you business. And I know that I have spoken to several of your um, guests, and when I get on the phone with them, they cannot stop talking about you, Bonnie, but how awesome you are and how many people they brought to you for the referrals. And what
Yes.
I want to tell you, I want to end today with this thing is that when there's going to be about 100 or so people, don't need to focus on 100. Really, I focus on relationship pipeline. And so that I want to build a pipeline, not that whole pipeline from Alaska to here. Forget about building in a truckload. If you build a pipeline, there's no more transportation. It goes. So how do you do that? This half a dozen or so people that you create, each one of them is a channel. And I'll share with you how I have literally made a living off of few people in this high-tech age when people manage contacts and funnels and contacts. I don't manage contacts and I don't manage funnels. What I do is I manage relationships and friendships, and that has made all the difference. And the cruise is just another opportunity. If you're new, you'll have an opportunity to build relationships. And if you're already a veteran of the industry, you already know you're coming because, like Bonnie, people have come. I have people coming that are, this is their 8th time that are coming as they've been here because they come over and over again because every year the group is different. There's always new people coming in, and so it enriches their circle of influence. So that's what this is all about. And if if you want more information than about the cruise, I think the best way to go about it is go to the website. It is December 10th through the 14th, and we're going from Cozumel, Fort Lauderdale, Florida to Cozumel, Mexico. And right there is on the screen is the website, twccruise15.com, twccruise15.com. And you can also call Shirley Johnson. She's my Director of Special Projects and in charge of the cruise if you need any logistics details. And if you want to bring your spouse or your children. By the way, this is the first time that we're also doing a teen mastermind because we're at an age right now that our children are teenagers, and the same concepts that has made all the difference in our lives, why not teach them to our children and expose them now instead of waiting and off the trial and error? So I'm all about making a difference. Now I've added this third component of making a difference, and I make a difference in 3 ways. Number 1 is I help people make money. Number 2, I help people with their health. And there's a saying that a healthy person has many wishes. A sick person has only one. If you help people make money, they'll forever be grateful. But if you help people regain their health, they'll be more grateful than if you help them making money. And then the third way to help people, which is more powerful than the first 2 combined, is help people with their children. They are their legacy. Find a way to add value to their children, and they will become your lifetime fans. They will become your lifetime raving fans. And so we've added this component, everything that I do. And nowadays, I'm at a point where I'm writing, giving jobs, referring them to other jobs, or writing recommendation letters, opening doors for my friends' children. And that seems to create more of a bonding than anything else I've ever done. So if you want to talk to me, you can call me directly. or you can call Shirley, and of course you have Bonnie also. If you have questions, you can talk to her and about the cruise or anything that you want. And the only urgency here is, I think the last I heard, the ship is about 85% full. And Bonnie, without exception, there hasn't been a year that I have gotten a phone call. People will call me, and I have to say that I'm sorry, the ship is full. And this is not like one of those things that it's at a hotel that said, hey, it's full, come and stay at the next hotel. They don't allow any dinghy boat to tow. So if you miss the boat, you'll be missing the boat. So if this is something that intrigues you, you want to take advantage of it, if you want to have your best 2016 ever, then this mastermind cruise could be one of those catalysts that could take you to the next level. Anything else, Bonnie? And of course, maybe she's on to her next trains, planes, and automobiles she has jumped on. And my mentor, Tony Robbins, he had a saying, and I sometimes end with his quote, is he said that in the moment of your decision, your destiny is shaped. In the moment of your decision, your destiny is shaped. So if this is not just an event, this is an experience, and we have fun, and along the same way, it could change your destiny. So once again, Bonnie, thank you for the privilege and the honor of sharing my thoughts and this opportunity with your people. And my phone number, my contact information is right there. Feel free to call me. I hope some of you, I'll be able to see you. And by the way, if you can't make it, but if you need more information on how I can help you, support you, please don't hesitate to call me. I am fairly well connected. I can connect you with people, and if I can help you beyond the cruise, please don't hesitate to do that. I hope our paths will cross again in the near future. Until then, and on behalf of Bonnie, let me also say thank you for joining us. And I'm sure that if she was in a place where she could say the last few words, she would have. So I promise that it'll be no more than half an hour. And I think it has just been exactly 33 minutes. So I went 3 minutes over. God bless and Godspeed, and goodbye.